All right, to begin with and to review, a couple things that we need to keep in mind when dealing with angles and their measurements. First of all, if we have a straight line and we go a half turn or 180 degrees, we're going to get something that looks like so. Starting point, ending point. If we have a 360 degree or full turn, our starting point and our ending point are exactly the same spot. If we have a 90 degree or quarter turn, we can think of having our starting point and our ending point. We know that this is also a 90 degree turn or 90 degree angle because of the 90 degree right angle geometric marking in the corner. Lastly, when we're talking about writing angles, we can think of writing them in a couple of different ways. First of all, you may see something that looks like so. This is indicating that what you are measuring is an angle, or that angle has a specific measurement. The other way that you can see this written is like that. So whether you see option 1 or option 2, this is telling us that we're dealing with an angle. So if we were to look at the bottom diagram, what we have here is an angle. We see that its measurement is 62 degrees, but we have to think about how to appropriately label or call that angle. In this particular case, we wouldn't call it just angle B. We just identify things that way if we're talking about enclosed areas or enclosed shapes. What we have to do is we have to think. It starts at point A, we go down to point B, and we continue out to point C. So the common point between A, B, and C is B. So we would list this as angle A, B, C equals 62 degrees. When working with complementary angles, what we're working with are angles that have a total measurement of 90 degrees. We take a look at our diagram. We have our perpendicular lines. We have our 90 degree marking geometric sign. So we know that every angle in here is equal to 90 degrees. For this particular case, unlike things you've done in the past, you no longer need to use a protractor. You can use your math skills to help you figure this out. When looking at our angles to figure out our measurements, we can look at a couple different angles that we have here. Angle CAB, and we see that that's already marked off as being 40 degrees. So using our math skills, we can figure out that angle DAC must be 90 degrees minus the 40 is going to give us a complementary angle of 50 degrees. Therefore, angle DAC is equal to 50. Subsequently, option number 2, or example number 2, what we have marked out is angle OMN as 72 degrees. We can identify that clearly. It's given to us. We don't need to measure with any of our tools. We just need our math skills. So we can mark this off as 72 degrees. What we then need to find is angle PMO. Again, knowing that our complementary angles equal 90 in total, we can take our 90, we can subtract from it 72, and we know that our angle that is remaining is going to be 18 degrees. Take a moment and try option number 3 on your own. For example, number 3, what we are given is angle TQS. We can already see that that is marked off as 44 degrees, so we can input that in. What we see and then are looking for is angle SQR. And remember, whatever is in the middle, all right, whatever letter is in the middle, that's what we can think of as being our corner. So in this particular case, we can think of that 90 degrees total, subtract the 44 degrees that we already have, and that's going to leave us with a measurement of 46 degrees. Now, the last thing you were asked to take a look for is angle TQR. And that hopefully was fairly straightforward because as you look from T to Q to R, we see that that is equal to 90 degrees. So 90 degree angles are complementary angles. Now, hopefully you all remember that a straight line has a measurement of 180 degrees. So if we have two or more angles that have a total of 180 degrees, we call those supplementary angles. In this particular case, you can see that we have our straight line labeled A, B, C. We have an angle that has been given to us, angle A, B, D. And you can see that that has a measurement of 62 degrees. So in order to figure out angle DBC, which is what we have left, remember that middle letter in the middle of our angle, the way that we labeled our angles, we can think of that as being the corner that we're actually measuring. So that's what we're actually measuring right in there, right? All we need to do is use our math skills. So 180 minus 62 is going to give us an angle measurement of 118 degrees. So angle DBC is equal to 118 degrees. Second example that you have on your page, right, is angle FGJ. We've already been told again that that's 137. It's given to us, nice and straightforward. We can just plot that into our angle measurements. What we're therefore looking for is that angle there. We see that G is in the corner of where those two lines meet, so the G is going to be in the middle, and the other 2 points that help make that angle are J and H. So we're going to call this JGH. Again, all we have to do is use our math skills. We know that a straight line is 180 degrees in total. We're going to subtract from it what we have already been given, which is 137 degrees, which is going to give us an angle measurement for angle JGH of 43 degrees. Now take a moment and try the bottom two questions. Just realized that on the organizers that you guys had posted online for you, the measurements for these bottom two questions are not actually there. So take a moment, pause your screen, and use the measurements that are given on your screen in front of you to fill in the missing angles and therefore be able to fill in and complete and answer the missing amounts. All right, for our two practice questions at the bottom, what we can see is a couple of things. We obviously have one angle given. We know that PNO is equal to 39 degrees. That one we can write in, but we do need to find QNP. So QNP. So to find this angle here, what we can use are our complementary angles. So to find that one, we've got 90 minus 39 is going to give us an angle measurement of 51 degrees. For angle MNP, what we have is MNP. So what we're looking for is this angle here. So we can take our 51 that we already have, we can add to it the 90 that we have on this side here, and what we're going to end up with is an angle measurement of 141 degrees. So again, remember, straight line is 180, perpendicular line here is 90, so we have to have 90 over here, so that's where we get our 90 from, plus our measured 51, so 141 in total. And finally, for MNQ, so MNQ, again, nice and straightforward. We see that it's supplementary to this actual angle over here to give us, which is 90 degrees, so we know that this is also equal to 90 degrees. Questions at the bottom, VSQ. So what we're looking at here is VSQ. You can see that we have 47, 51. We know that when we add these all together across here, we have to get 180. So we've got 180 degrees in total, minus 47, minus 51, which is going to give us an angle for VSQ. So what we're looking for is what's right in here, a measurement of 82 degrees.